We're not going to see the Bruins on the ice until after Christmas, but that doesn't mean we don't get our daily dose of Andrew Raycroft joining me now on Zoom. Razor, the Bruins, one of 8 teams currently shut down in the NHL. Do you see a league-wide shutdown on the horizon for the NHL?
I sure hope not. However, we're trending to the point where the cases are piling up on the teams that have been able to dodge it up until this point. So a few more postponements on Monday. They are going to get a game in Monday night, hopefully some games Tuesday night. So just keep the ball rolling for 3 more days until they have the 3-day break anyhow and reset and see where we're at next week. But from everyone I'm talking to, there's so many things, so many balls in the air that no one's really quite sure of what the next couple weeks are going to look like for the National Hockey League.
Now for the Bruins, their next game could be, emphasis on could be, December 27th, hosting the Penguins. Their facilities are shut down unless a player needs to get treatment, so that means no practice for the Bees. But GM Don Sweeney said if the team needs to go right into a game without practice, they will. How do you see that possible scenario playing out for the players' health?
I think they'll be pretty healthy. They're going to take care of themselves over this break. It sounds like everyone who had the COVID positive test is asymptomatic, easy for me to say, and they're able to still work out. I'm sure they're going for runs. I'm sure they've got their pellets on their bikes at home that they're working on. So they're ready to go. We saw it last couple years. Guys were ready at the drop of a hat. And yes, it'll take a period or two for them to really get their legs. It might be sloppy at times, but the reality is, and they've done it for a couple years now, where you get out and play the games whenever you can play them.
Of course, for the Bruins, multiple players went into protocol at different times, could be different returns, but due to all the scheduled breaks the Bruins had to start the season, they have a heavy backloaded schedule. I know you pointed out on Twitter, 56 games and 103 days minus the Olympic break. When they get past this outbreak and back to playing, do you see all those games crammed into the end of the season affecting their performance?
It's going to be difficult. There's no question. It's going to test their depth. It's going to test their ability to manage minutes for all of their players, for their goaltenders, their defensemen. And I got to imagine at this point now, there's going to be a few more days added in there, whether that's throughout the Olympic break, whether that's added on at the end of the season. Because like you asked in the first question, the postponements are really piling up for the NHL. So they're going to have to find some more days within the schedule, which will give the Bruins a little bit of a reprieve. But either way, they've got a massive back-end schedule that's really going to test the depth of the entire organization.
And Razor, you're from that beautiful country up north. You now live in Boston, so you know how much the Olympics means to both the USA and Canada. If you were currently a player in the league, would you still want to play in the Olympics this February?
I've been asked that. I've been thinking about it, and the reality is I would. If I had one opportunity to go and play for the Canadian Olympic team and have an opportunity to win an Olympic gold medal as a hockey player in Canada, that's a really big deal. And I know there's a lot of hoops for them to go through this year. There's so many negatives to it, but at the end of the day, when you get asked to represent your country, most guys will jump at the opportunity. And I know guys that have talked to guys on the U.S. national team or who would have been there that are really disappointed at this point that it's come to this and it looks like they're not going to be going. So guys are disappointed that they're not going despite having to go to China, and despite the quarantine that could happen to them, and despite all the other things that are going on in the world, guys still wanted to go to the Olympics.
Now, of course, Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, Bruce Cassidy could represent Canada, Charlie McAvoy, USA, Pasternak with the Czech Republic. So be a lot of tough choices for a lot of guys representing the Bruins. Razor, as always, appreciate you joining me, man.
You got it. Thanks for having me. Happy holidays.